And that's why I get it. When you've worked on your craft, when you've worked on yourself, when you look at your CV and how you've performed, then you go, I'm a brilliant actor. I don't need anybody to tell me I'm a brilliant actor. No. I don't need awards to tell me I'm a brilliant actor. When the awards come, great. But I have already validated myself to say, Kagiso Modupe, one year is a boy.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces.
The resume is long. The titles are many. If I were to say National Karate Champ, 1992, Provincial Soccer Champion, Ballroom Dancing, hustling, selling the stock sweeting,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Okay, maybe you're not familiar with who I'm speaking about, but if I did say multi-award winning director, storyteller, and Mangi from Scandal, I have to then.
Yeah, okay.
Then you'd know who I'm speaking about. His name is Kagiso Modupe, and he joins us on the 5-minute call couch.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, you went digging, hey?
Oh, I did.
1992.
Yes.
Exposing my age.
Yeah, if you were doing karate at that
National champ at that time.
national champ in 1992. People weren't born in 1992, some weren't walking in 1992.
Yeah.
How did you stumble across karate?
I was an active child, man.
Okay.
So I did everything. I did from soccer, karate, ballroom dancing. I was just active. You know, and I think that's the one thing that got me out of trouble. You know, I was, and I had parents that would allow me to just go and explore. You know, I grew up in a beautiful home. We were poor, but I call it beautiful because it didn't feel like we were poor. It was a loving home. I've got amazing parents, amazing siblings. My dad is still my hero, you know. My mom is still my hero.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you model the same level of freedom with your kids as well. I mean, they're stars in their own right.
Yeah, you know. Those little ones, yeah. I try to, you know, let them lead me and I will follow and just guide based on maybe my experience and my knowledge. But I feel like each person is here to serve their purpose. And I cannot impose my personality onto them, because then it might just derail them from having to serve their purpose.
Of course. When all is said and done, what seeds do you feel like you would have deposited in the people that have experienced you?
Man, you know, that's one thing that I keep preaching to myself, and now put it out to the world. I say, you know, what kind of a song do I want to be? You know, do I want to be the kind of song that people are going to talk about for the next 50 years to come? Or am I going to be that kind of song that people are like, Kana, what's that song? And Kuna, who sings that song, you know? Because at the end of the day, we're all going to leave Molfati. So I want to be that kind of cologne.
That lingers.
That lingers for years and years and years. And I want to be that guy who would have pulled up people, who would have touched people in a positive way, and who would have left not only my legacy, but the legacy of my parents as well.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
And, you know, having watched another interview that you had, you'd mentioned that if Noliko Skolo and you were not on stage, if you were never called over the intercom, for positive reasons and sometimes not so great reasons, then you were not there.
You were not there. Do you know what I mean? You were not there. You gotta be called over the intercom. Oh, staging, you know. But this is what you should not be, or this is what you should be, because then you were not at that school. You were invisible.
Yeah.
So you came and wafita, and nobody's talking about you.
Yeah.
So what was the purpose of you attending that school?
And we are not in any way endorsing rebellion within your schooling environment. Please, that's not what we're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying be visible.
Beautiful.
Yeah, be visible. There's a reason. We need to start finding our purpose in life from an early age.
How do you find or develop the courage to explore that? Because I know there's so many young people who find themselves in spaces where they would sooner and find it more comfortable to blend into the background and not be called.
Yeah.
And not have a moment, not be the moment.
Yeah.
But in then saying that I'm born for more, I'm called for more, how do you then overcome that?
It doesn't mean that when you are loud, you are seen. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean when you're loud, you're seen. You can be quiet and still be seen. You can be quiet and still push your agenda, you know, and that's what I learned from my dad. You know, he says, "Ore, ready kwena," you know, and when haho le rough, we go underwater, and we are powerful in water and we're powerful out of water. But then he says, "Be like a snake. A snake only raises its head when it's ready to strike."
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? So how teoga o ya ko fatshe does not mean that you are working, that you're not working. You are working, you are serving your purpose. And when you come out and you drop. Yeah. And then you go back down. And that's what sustains us in the industry, not wanting to be seen all the time. You know what's interesting is when I got into the industry, you know, we get invites every day in your pigeonhole. There's like invites to parties. And I was told that if you are not on newspapers for anything, whether it's good or bad, then you are not seen in the industry, or you're not making an impact in the industry, and you're not, you know, people want you to be naughty. And man, I was going to these parties, mara, I didn't have money then. Yeah. And kodi parties then they serve wine, right? And I'm not a wine guy, I'm a beer guy. You know what I mean?
Green bottles.
Yeah. You know, and I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna step away from that, and I'm gonna build myself in my own way. And this is not about Shwashi, it's not about the producers, it's not about, it's about me. What do I want? And I built myself. And tying into that, I used to be scared when I go into auditions. And I realized that I need to stop making it about the person who's auditioning and make it about me. If I walk out and I've done a great job, and then that's fine. And immediately after that, I started getting a lot of jobs. Wow. Because it wasn't about anybody else, it was about me. And I'm able to then scrutinize myself and go, you messed up that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't wait for somebody else to tell me whether I'm good or I'm not. That's when I learned self-validation.
Which is interesting, considering that if someone was listening to you, they would believe that you're someone who always believed you were called to acting, that you'd always loved acting from a young age, but you didn't. Yeah. You, in fact, have a BSc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there in the medical side. I mean, I've got a BSc in human physiology and anatomy. And a BA in
family psychology.
But for me, this says, okay, let me be honest with you. I've never struggled to get into the industry. I've never. Like, I hear people going, yo, man, I'm trying to do this, I didn't. I have never asked for anything komudimu and never received it. I have never. You get what I'm saying? It just happens. And that tells you, Jorge, there's a higher power that's always with me. And that's always opening doors for me. I don't have to go knock, it happens. So, I do things in my own pace because I understand that there's God's timing. And then there's His blessings, and then there's His grace. So I don't stress about stuff. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Of course.
And that's why I'm able to work on myself, and self-validation is something that I believe in. And now, we were talking just earlier on, Jorge, going back to acting. And I said, if, right? I know you don't like it. I'll go back. Yeah, I'll go back. Yeah, but I'm just saying.
And I'm not the only person.
I'm just saying to you, when you know who you are and you understand your purpose and you're able to work on yourself, it's easy to self-validate yourself. I don't need for someone to validate me. I know I'm a good dad. I know I'm a good husband. I don't need my wife to tell me I'm a good husband. I don't need my children to tell me I'm a good dad, because I know I am. Because I've put in the work, I've put in the effort, I've worked this thing out. I know I'm a brilliant actor. I know that.
When did you discover that? Was there a moment that revealed to you that, wait, see, I guess,
No, like literally. And that's why I get it. When you've worked on your craft, when you've worked on yourself, when you look at your CV and how you've performed, then you go, I'm a brilliant actor. I don't need anybody to tell me I'm a brilliant actor. No. I don't need awards to tell me I'm a brilliant actor. When the awards come, great. But I have already validated myself to say, Kagiso Modupe, 1 year is a boy. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then now I'm a director. Yes, I've won all these accolades of best director. But now myself, I know I haven't reached that level where I can come out and say, I'm one of the best directors in this country. So I am working on it. I am putting the work in it. And I'll tell you, at some point, I'm going to come out and say, I'm one of the best directors in this country.
You did something very bold, and it also speaks to the level of faith that you walk in.
Yeah.
And it was declining a substantial amount of money from an international investor for losing Lerato.
Yeah.
Tell us about that and what it meant to fulfill a promise. So you held on to the promise. The promise was to your daughter saying, we're going to make this work. Together.
Yeah.
You and I, we're going to make this work.
Yeah.
You don't have any alternative funding at this given moment.
No.
But there's millions that are being put on the table. Tell us briefly about that and why the promise was so important.
There are certain things that money can buy. And if you understand yourself and what your purpose is, you can sell yourself to the devil. You know, having to break your daughter's heart, I don't think you can put any value to that. Antoine, I don't want to be that dad that one day when I'm gone, my kids would say, your time as a light unto so. I don't know if I'm making sense. Yeah. So there isn't any amount of money that would make me turn on my family or betray my family or adjust the values that I'm instilling in my girls. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, and at that time I was desperate. I won't lie to you. I was very desperate. I had lost almost everything because I was putting money into this film, into the development, and now I need to go and shoot. And when I get to New York, obviously that big distributor says to me, we like the concept, it's amazing, and we're gonna give you $25 million. No, it was
25.
When we converted it into rands, yeah. I mean, that's not even close to what you get here for a film.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and it was about 25 million. And the deal was that they take the scripts and they do it with American actors. Now, and I told my daughter I'm going to go and hustle for this. Yeah. I called home and I told them what I was going to do. Of course, at that time, you know, when you're hungry, everyone thinks, no, just take the 25 million. Another idea will just come. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to come home and we're going to do it properly with Simul. And that's why, for me, when I look at Losing Lerato, it's still a film that touches people after 5 years, 6 years. You know, it's still there. You still have someone. Yesterday I was watching it, which is, I mean, we normally just see a film and we get over it and then we move on. So it's a timeless piece. And it wasn't going to be a timeless piece if me and Simolo were not in it.
Which goes back to self-validation.
Self-validation.
What makes a great director?
Botu. And Botu comes with you understanding that it's not about you. You need to humble yourself to the story. Humble yourself to the fact that there's a crew that makes you look good. And your job is to lead. And what makes a good director is having to be aware. And the only way you can be aware is to have a interaction with each crew member and know them so well that when they walk in today, you can tell whether this person's good or not, or if they are depressed or not, if they are hungry or not. And you're able to adjust in how you're gonna get the best out of them, and so that you can get the best out of your day. But everything boils down to Botu.
Do you think you've had that privilege of seeing that, or that being revealed to you because you've been the actor? So you know in that environment what the desires of that, what the expectations are. It's like, I know there's so many actors that go, oh, I wish I had a director that was like this. I wish I was directed like this.
Yeah.
I wish that the production was led in this way.
Yeah.
And for that reason, they go, well, when I step into a position as director, I know what to do differently.
That's still a selfish, it's still a selfish perspective. Is it what we say?
Okay.
Because you are like, I wish. And their first instinct should be about Batwabang and not about yourself. In this industry. Because that's why you have actors that will say, I want to do a kissing scene lemang. It's an I. They forgot that there's a story that needs to be told. And they forgot the bigger picture that this story is going to affect 10 million people out there. They forgot. So your first instinct is to give and not to receive. So, I learned it from before I became on TV. From my mom, from my dad, how we were brought up. And when I jump into a space like this, the stardom doesn't get to my head. My first instinct when I get into the industry is, what do I give that's gonna make me that kind of song?
What are your thoughts in terms of where we are? Do you believe we're progressing or regressing? Where are we?
I think we are regressing.
Regressing?
Yeah.
And why?
I'm not seeing the next generation. And that's what my problem is. Yeah.
Come on, somebody!
In terms of
Come
performance, I am not seeing the next generation. I am not seeing people that are going to carry us and carry this flag that your Brasilos have left, that your Zolisa have left, your Kagisos have left. I'm not seeing the leading man right now. I'm not seeing anybody who's gonna pick up on where your Stumom Chalis have left.
Oh, come on.
I'm still trying to look, because what I'm seeing right now is I'm seeing people who are getting into the industry, one, for the fame, and they're not really willing to work hard for the fame, and understand that what really makes you famous is the work that you put into that can. They are more worried about the likes, they are more worried about the comments on social media than they are about the craft. You are watching maybe actors who don't come in and take this thing seriously. They're not prepared. For them, sometimes they just come in, spit out the lines and go. You know what I mean? I'm seeing people who are not understanding the industry holistically, but they just understand one part of it. And your social media, your TikToks have made it so easy for someone to be famous. And once you're famous, they think that they have it. You don't.
Come on.
You don't. Because tomorrow or next week, there's someone else who's more famous than you are. That's why you find a lot of entertainers get into this depression mode, because it wasn't about the craft, it was about the outside world. And when that outside world turns on you, then you've got nowhere to fall back on. And we all understand how television works. You know, it makes money through advertising. So if you have a Kagiso Modupe on your show, and he's got a large social media following, then a lot of people are going to watch it, whether it's good or not. You know what I mean? So everything now is dictated by money and not by talent. And that also now creates a different environment on set, like a working environment that's different on set. Because now we have to adjust to Kagiso Modupe because we want his numbers. And they're bringing in man, but listen to the the way industry. Now all of a sudden there's certain things that we're adjusting to on set. Because we need this person and we need this person based on the numbers. You look at it, Candice, that's why it's going to be a very tough war for us to fight the war against couch auditions. Because everybody's so desperate to get onto TV. You've got an influx of people who just want to be on TV, but it's not their thing.
If there's a young actor that's watching this and their question is, Kagiso, how do I get into the industry? Or how do I pursue it seriously? Seriously, not for the fame.
Yeah.
I know.
It could be for the fame.
It could be for the fame.
Could be for the fame.
What's your ideal response to that?
Understand the industry holistically. And you're an example of that. How do I make myself an attractive horse that channel wants to bet on, that production houses want to bet on, that social media wants to bet on, that brands want to bet on? How do I make myself that attractive horse? And the only way is putting in the work. Because when you're looking for an agent, the first thing they're going to ask you, are you trained? So then if you're not an attractive horse. You're not even getting close to being that attractive horse. You know, once you are in and your performance speaks for itself, then you're making yourself an attractive horse. You know, you're not just there because you have to be there. And that's why I'm saying Candice Modupe is that kind of a horse. In all honesty, right? Because then you put in the work. I've seen you on set. And then you panic about the little things. But the little things that you're panicking about is you're worried about, how am I going to deliver this thing and make this thing so amazing, right?
Yeah, you were one of the greatest privileges on that set.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once they got the job, they are there. And they forgot about the day before they got the job. Never forget that. Never forget the day before you got the job. What was happening? The biggest enemy in this industry is habitation. You forgot that you were asking for a job, that you were willing to just shadow somebody, and then now you got the job. Instead of focusing on building yourself, you are worried about the little things that happen on set, like catering. You forgot. You didn't come for food. Then Taurus Kaftin, nobody's stopping you from doing that. And that's why for me, I'm a pleasure to work with, because I've learned what to complain about and what not to complain about. If I'm here to perform and there's something that hinders me performing, that's the only time I'll raise my issues. But Dijo?
Yeah. What if...
Dijo?
Yes.
No. I got Dijo da. Whether they change the caterers or they don't, it doesn't change my salary. Whether it doesn't change my salary.
The rest of 2023, what does it look like for you? let's look at the foreseeable future. Work's coming out. I know Tando came out last year and has done exceptionally well.
Yeah. The rest of the year, we are killing it, man. In terms of work, I've got like a slate of 6 films.
What?
A series that I'm putting it out there. A 16-part series. I've got an 8-part series. Yeah, I'm just going at it.
Any parting words? You've said so much, and we've taken notes. You've tugged at our heartstrings, and you've given us more reason to respect you, which you already did.
Yeah, I think for me is having to speak to the youth of South Africa, and I'd say, stop feeling sorry for yourself. You gotta start thinking, get up, do something. Oscar, don't let someone's mess up your life. Just because you come from a broken home doesn't mean you need to be broken. Just because you come from a broken society, or a society with corrupt maybe politicians who are supposed to deliver a service, allow that to determine whether you're gonna make it or not. It's not someone else's yes or no that's gonna determine whether you get or you achieve your goals. Everything is up to you. So stop pointing fingers and start doing.
I can feel the virtual applause happening in the world of 5MC. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your love. Thank you for standing in the gap. You do it boldly. You do it viciously. You do it confidently.
Thank you.
And you're the horse we're betting on.
Please, yeah.
You're the horse we're betting on.
If Nigeria China, better on. Yeah. Challenge the number.
You're the horse that's just walking.
I'm walking, and I'm not gonna stop.
And we will never stop. We'll never stop giving you love. You'll never stop watching the 5MC. Again, guys, please take a moment to subscribe, share the reels, share the content, share the wisdom, share the words.
Yeah.
There's just too much. There's just so much. This cup is running over, and we really give much appreciation to you for the time that you've committed to watching this episode. For everyone who supported his career, is going to continue doing it. Thank you to everyone who supports us as a platform and what we seek to do, and the plants we want to, or the seeds that we want to sow within every single young person and anyone who really is just welling up with potential. We love you, we appreciate you, we believe in you, and we thank you. And of course, to the Alex Theatre for making all of this possible. We do not take that for granted. This space has been nothing shy of amazing, state-of-the-art facilities, and every single thing we get to access in order for us to access our audiences. Thank you so much. Once again, from me, Tumelo Candace Mudisele, and the amazing Kagiso Modupe.
#
Function Studios in the background, Alex Theatre, and you, the subscriber and lover and friends of the 5 Minute Call. Thank you, and consider yourselves blessed.